how to make your outfits better. Avoid these styling mistakes. We've all walked out the door, looked in the mirror, and thought, something feels off. It's not that the clothes are wrong. It's the way small choices undermine your natural presence. Does that sound familiar? Today, we'll reveal the habits quietly sabotaging your elegance and teach you how to replace them. Keep listening, because the final insight may change how you approach your wardrobe forever. Point 1. Wearing clothes that compete with your natural energy. There's a quiet battle that happens every time you get dressed. Some clothes harmonize with who you are, while others compete with you, and they usually win. When I say compete with your natural energy, I mean clothes that demand so much attention that they leave little room for you to shine through. Think of loud prints that swallow your personality or stiff fabrics that cage your movements until your body feels like it's working for the outfit instead of the outfit working for you. Harmony feels different. When your clothes reflect your rhythm, your voice, your posture, your natural way of moving, they support you instead of fighting you. A silk blouse that flows as you gesture in conversation, or a tailored jacket that feels structured but still soft enough to carry your warmth. These pieces become an extension of you, not a mask. Picture a typical workday. You put on a blouse with a busy pattern, heavy jewelry, and shoes that click too sharply against the floor. By mid-afternoon, you feel drained, almost like you've been performing all day. Compare that to wearing a simple cream shirt with clean lines, paired with trousers that move easily when you walk. Suddenly, you feel lighter, more open, more present. The question is simple but revealing. How do I feel after wearing this? If you feel smaller, muted, or burdened, the clothes are competing. If you feel amplified, steady, and calm, you found alignment. Point 2. Ignoring the power of vertical versus horizontal flow in outfits. Clothing isn't just fabric. It's a map for the eyes. The direction of the lines in your outfit quietly shapes how people perceive you, and even more importantly, how you perceive yourself. Many overlook this, yet it's one of the simplest ways to shift presence. Vertical flow is your ally. Lines that run up and down, whether from the cut of a coat, the drape of a dress, or the crease of well-tailored trousers, guide the eye in one smooth direction. They create a sense of elongation, calm, and focus. There's a reason why a long blazer worn open makes you feel taller, more aligned, more grounded. It pulls attention upward, supporting presence without noise. Horizontal lines, on the other hand, tend to broaden. A wide belt cutting across the waist, stripes running sideways, or even a pocket placed in the wrong spot interrupts the flow. It's not that horizontal is always bad, but it has to be used intentionally. For example, a subtle horizontal neckline can frame your face beautifully. But if those same lines repeat across your torso or hips, they often stop the eye short, leaving you feeling heavier or boxed in. Accessories play a role here too. A pendant necklace draws the eye downward, lengthening the body, while a wide choker cuts it off abruptly. These details, though small, quietly change how your body language is read. The shift is powerful. Choose clothing that aligns vertically, and you project calm authority. Layer in horizontal only when it enhances rather than fragments. Word count 250. Point 3. Overlooking how fabric texture affects presence. Every fabric you wear carries a mood, almost like a silent language. Texture shapes not only how others perceive you, but also how you feel moving through your day. Think of it this way. A fabric is never neutral. It either softens your presence, sharpens it, or creates an imbalance if chosen without thought. Soft textures, like silk, cashmere, or fine cotton, communicate warmth, approachability, and ease. They make interactions feel open, almost like you've lowered a barrier. A silk blouse, for instance, doesn't just glide over your skin, it softens how people engage with you. Rigid fabrics, like starched linen, structured wool, or polished leather, lean toward authority and formality. They give you edges, both literally and metaphorically. When you walk into a meeting in a crisp wool jacket, the room reads structure before you even speak. The challenge comes when incompatible textures are thrown together without intention. Silk paired with heavy denim, for example, can feel like two different conversations happening at once, one whispering fluidity, the other insisting on weight. But when wool meets leather, the balance works. Both share a grounded sturdiness that feels cohesive. These choices extend into everyday life. In colder seasons, heavier knits and layered textures naturally project strength and warmth. In warmer months, breathable cotton or linen encourages movement and calm. Your task isn't to avoid contrast, it's to guide it. Experiment with textures intentionally. Ask yourself, does this combination carry one message, or does it pull me in opposite directions? Word count 50. Do you want me to now continue with point 4 in this same flowing conversational tone? Point 4. Wearing colors that fight your emotional state. Color isn't just decoration, it's chemistry for the mind. The shades you choose to wear speak to your emotions, and when those colors don't align with where you are mentally, they can quietly drain you. Think of it as emotional dissonance. If your energy is already low and you wrap yourself in dull, heavy tones, you're amplifying fatigue rather than shifting it. Color psychology has been studied for decades, and while not every effect is universal, patterns are clear. Warm shades like reds and oranges tend to stimulate energy and focus, while cooler blues can calm an anxious mind. A study in the Journal of Environmental Psychology showed that exposure to brighter hues can improve mood regulation and alertness. The same principle applies when you put those colors on your body. They influence how you feel and how others respond to you. The trap is wearing against your state. For example, if you feel drained and reach for muted gray, it might deepen the heaviness you're already carrying. But a fresh green or light blue can offer psychological lift, creating the sense of air and movement that your mind needs. The most practical step? Identify 2 or 3 shades that support you on difficult days. Maybe a soft blush, a calming navy, or an energizing coral, shades you can lean on like emotional allies. Colors aren't rules to follow rigidly. They're tools, subtle, powerful tools, that can either fight against you or quietly work for you. Point 5. Mixing symbols that send conflicting social signals. Every piece of clothing carries a symbol, sometimes cultural, sometimes professional, and often deeply personal. The trouble begins when these signals clash in ways that confuse the story your outfit is telling. A classic example is wearing a sharp corporate blazer layered over a t-shirt with cartoonish motifs. Each item might feel fine on its own, but together they create dissonance. One says authority, the other says play. The result isn't balance, but a quiet conflict that unsettles both you and those around you. These mixed signals matter because clothing works as nonverbal language. People interpret you long before you speak, and if the outfit pulls in opposite directions, it creates a subtle disconnect between how you intend to show up and how you're actually read. More importantly, it creates an internal friction. You may feel slightly off, unable to fully embody your look, because the clothes aren't aligned with a single identity in that moment. Ask yourself a grounding question. Does this outfit tell one clear story? At a professional gathering, coherence might mean choosing clean, simple pieces that project competence and warmth without distraction. At a casual social event, it might mean leaning into relaxed textures and playful accessories without undercutting them with something overly formal. When the signals align, the benefit is powerful: authenticity. You feel congruent, and that quiet confidence is what people notice most. Coherence in style isn't about being rigid. It's about ensuring every element works in the same direction. Point 6. Forgetting that neckline shapes change how you're perceived. One of the quietest but most influential details in clothing is the neckline. It frames your face, guides the eye, and subtly shapes how people read you. Yet it's often overlooked, treated as a small detail, when in truth it changes presence more than most realize. Different necklines speak different languages. A V-neck creates openness and elongation, drawing attention upward while softening the shoulders. It carries a relaxed confidence, perfect when you want to feel approachable but still composed. A crew neck, by contrast, offers more coverage, projecting simplicity and groundedness. Yet, on some body shapes, it can make the upper body appear wider, which shifts the perception of proportion. A boat neckline adds elegance, stretching across the collarbones in a way that feels both graceful and modern. And then, of course, the turtleneck, structured, intellectual, and protective. It creates an air of formality, even authority, but can also feel restrictive if worn without intention. What matters is not simply the cut, but the alignment with your proportions and context. A neckline too high for someone with a shorter neck may feel stifling, while a deep V on a formal occasion might seem out of step. When the right shape is chosen, however, it does more than flatter. It frames your presence. Think of necklines as mood shapers. They influence posture, openness, and the first few seconds of perception. Choose the one that supports not only your body, but also the story you want to tell that day. Point 7. Over-accessorizing as a mask for insecurity. Accessories can be powerful storytellers. Rings, necklaces, scarves, watches. They add layers of meaning and offer glimpses into your taste and personality. But when they shift from expression to armor, the story gets lost. Many times, piling on too many accessories isn't really about style. It's about hiding. The thought process often sounds like, if I add more sparkle, more detail, more distraction, maybe no one will notice what I feel unsure about. But here's the paradox. Instead of elevating your presence, excess can diminish it. A cascade of necklaces layered with oversized earrings and multiple bracelets may feel like you're filling gaps, but what it really does is drown out the natural elegance that simplicity could reveal. I've seen people walk into gatherings with enough jewelry to draw eyes instantly, but rather than admiring the person, others only notice the clutter. This isn't about avoiding accessories, it's about letting them breathe. A single bold cuff bracelet on a clean outfit or delicate earrings paired with a sharp neckline creates focus. It whispers confidence instead of shouting for it. Accessories should feel like punctuation, not camouflage. So the next time you reach for one more layer, pause and ask, am I enhancing my presence or am I covering something up? Trust that your personal energy is already enough. Accessories should frame you, not fight for the lead role. Bonus point. Dressing without considering how clothes sound and move in motion. Clothing isn't only about how it looks, it's about how it lives with you as you move. Too often, people forget that sound and motion are part of presence. A stiff fabric that rustles loudly or shoes that echo sharply across a floor can break the calm you're trying to carry. These interruptions draw attention, but not in the way you want. The most graceful clothes are the ones that move silently, in harmony with your body. Think of the quiet flow of a well-cut dress or the steady glide of shoes that don't compete with your steps. This kind of motion communicates confidence without effort. Psychologists note that fluid movement often increases perceived approachability, while rigidity or disruptive sound suggests tension. It's a small detail with powerful impact. Heels that clatter may feel glamorous, but shoes that glide give the impression of calm assurance. A stiff jacket that creaks every time you shift feels distracting, while a softer fabric creates ease. Elegance isn't only seen, it's also felt, and part of that feeling is silence and flow. If you made it this far, comment the word elegance below. It lets me know you're part of this community. Support the channel's growth by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who values style as much as you do. There's another video already waiting for you on screen. Go ahead and watch that next. Thank you for choosing self-growth today. I honor the time you've spent here.